All right. I'm Crypto Pio. This is Nifty Culture, and I am here with artist and photographer Anna Isabel. How's it going, Anna?
Everything is going fine. And there, how are you? Thank you so much for inviting me, by the way. I really appreciate it.
Oh, we appreciate it. We're excited to talk to you, and excited to learn about what's going on with you entering the NFT world and, your program, NFT Goddesses. So yeah, everything's good with us, and Nifty Culture is really excited to have you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So yeah, I wanted to kind of start the interview just talking a little bit about you, as a person and as an artist. So, I know that you're in the Azores over in Portugal. I wanted to just kind of get an understanding of your beginnings as an artist, how you found photography and just how things started for you.
Okay, so I found photography in 2006. I had just finished my degree in educational sciences, so nothing to do with art whatsoever. And a friend of mine, my best friend, had a camera. So I got intrigued by it, and I really liked what she was doing with it. So I had a small compact Sony, and I started photographing more and more. I was in this group, I don't know if you heard of it, I'm sure you have, called DeviantArt. So that pushed me to create more. And then when I moved to England in 2007, that's when I got a bridge camera. I think it was Fujifilm at the time. And that's how it started. So I started developing myself more. And the more I did, the more I knew this is what I wanted to do. So that was my journey. And then it developed from there.
Nice. That's awesome. And so did I hear, did you start your photography actually shooting on film, or did you start with digital?
It was digital, always digital, but it was started with a little compact one that like a Sony, like those ones you use for travel, if you go and travel. And then it just went up from there. And now I have a big one.
Now you have a big one. Okay. You got to upgrade to the big one, So I was looking at the photography that you minted into NFT format. And the thing that really jumped out at me right away is that, the portraits that you take, I feel like they really had like a big personality. They really had like a big attitude, So could you talk to me, just a little bit about your photography style, whether it's in relation to portraits or other, types of photography, and just talk about like, what you're looking to accomplish when you're working with a model or a subject, and, just anything that you think kind of is important for that process?
Yeah, of course. So I usually photograph women. That's my focus, women empowerment. So when it comes to my own personal artistic work, I try to show, and the work you've seen, sorry for going back, the work you've seen, probably most of my NFTs is from a project called Wytches and Seers, which is based on ancient goddesses and creatures from different mythologies. So I use the goddesses because I wanted to show that strength you talk about. I wanted to show women that we have a strength within ourselves that needs to be shown more, because I believe some of us were taught that to compete with each other, or that we are we were known as the inferior sex, and I don't believe that. And I think nowadays we need to start looking at ourselves as we have a place in this space, and so that's why I focus on women. Don't know if there's anything else you asked. Sorry. Maybe I got lost.
No worries. Yeah. And I appreciate that. And that's going to definitely tie into what we talk about when we kind of go into the program that you're developing, NFT Goddesses, just kind of staying on your photography first. I saw those portraits and they struck me, right? So that's why I wanted to kind of dig into that a little bit more. I think it's so interesting that you said that you want to frame women, as like these powerful beings, whereas, maybe conventionally or traditionally, really throughout history, it hasn't necessarily been the case. And I think that's such like an important, an important thing to be pushing for as an artist. Are there any other artists that you pay attention to that you feel like are doing something similar, or any other artists throughout history that you've been really inspired by?
Not sure if similar, but one of my favorite artists is Miss Aniela. Don't know if you heard of her. She's a fine art and fashion photographer. And she made a really interesting project recently called the Bird Undisturbed, which shows like ladies giving birth, but not real births. She got props like babies and all that, and I think that's very interesting. But otherwise, my own inspirations come mainly from this. I love reading books, so it comes from that, and I have a love for mythology, so that's why I incorporate that. But so that's my own biggest inspirations, and nature, because I think nature also suffered a bit like women, and I want to bring that back. The preservation.
That's for real. Yeah. And I think that, the inspiration of mythology is really interesting too, right? Because I feel like that's present in some of the work that I saw from you. It's almost like even taking a photograph of a human being, the way that you're presenting the human or the person, the way that you're actually, having them dressed and stuff, it definitely seemed a little bit, mythic, so to speak. So that's really cool. Really
Thank
cool
you.
that you said that. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I love that.
And I know that you're in the Azores, right, in Portugal. Could you talk to me a little bit about, I know you mentioned that you've only been working there as a photographer for a few years at this point, but anything about, the art scene right now, or the photography scene in the Azores, or, what's kind of going on with other photographers that over there?
Okay, so the Azores is a group of 9 islands. It's very, very small. I think I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but maybe we have a population in my island of 100,000, so not too many. But yeah, so photography-wise here, most of the photographers I know, they do weddings or family portraits. There's not, and so how do I say? It's not that they're not artistic, but it's usually the thing that happens here, like baptisms, weddings, and families. So when I moved here, I thought I could offer something different. And that's why I kind of moved here, because I thought it would be good for the islands to have something different. But yeah, so there's a lot of artists like painters, people that do jewelry, crafts, but photography is mostly what I told you about. Maybe there's other projects that I'm not sure, because it's so small. And to be honest, one of the things I struggle here is, for example, suppliers. Not many suppliers send here. And when they send, sometimes it's really expensive because we're right in the middle of the Atlantic. So it has to come by plane. And so sometimes there's a bit of a struggle there. Even for me to do art the way I want. Like when I was in UK, you find everything, but not here. But it's an interesting journey because you have beautiful landscapes here, and I want to photograph it more for sure.
Yeah, and that's interesting. I wouldn't even you're living, in an island setup, and the gear that you need to create the work that you want to create could be, a struggle. That's the same thing. Like for people here in the United States, I think Hawaii would probably be a comparable thing, because if you've ever gone to Hawaii, it's like really hard to get some basic stuff. So yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. Okay, so I wanted to talk about you as an NFT creator as well. So can you talk a little bit about how you found out about NFTs, how you made the decision to get involved with NFTs? Just just your beginnings getting into the NFT scene?
Yeah, definitely. So I think I heard about the NFTs in the end of February. It was from Pratik Naik. Don't know if you know him. He's a retoucher and photographer. So I heard about it from him first. And then my friend Ashley Marie, who's also an NFT goddess, she was talking about it on Facebook. So I went to check on YouTube what was it about, and then I got an invitation for foundation, and that's how it all started. I then started to go on Twitter, building relationships in the community, and that's how it went. And when I heard about the NFTs, I got really interested because I love my job as a photographer, photographing women and giving them that experience of empowerment for them to see themselves in a different light. But when I heard about the NFTs, it reminded me that my own artistic work, my own vision, the things I did for myself, they were being forgotten. And so I felt like a fire building inside of me again, and ready to do it. It's really exciting to think that this is another opportunity for artists to actually make a living of their own visions, their own personal work.
Yeah, and my next question was going to be like, since the NFT space is still new for everybody and more people have been getting involved this year, you mentioned Foundation as kind of the introduction for you to the NFT space. It feels like Foundation's been around for a long time, but it's literally been around for like 100 days or something like that. So I'd imagine, NFTs are very new for you also. It sounds like it's been a very positive experience for you. I was going to ask, like, what are your kind of initial impressions of NFTs? I have an idea of what artists would kind of think once they get a grasp on what the NFT space can do for them. But yeah, it sounds like for you, it's been very positive and an exciting new development.
Yeah, it has been really exciting. I'm going to be honest, I haven't sold much. I only sold one thing, and I'm really grateful. Thank you, Wish, for buying my work. It's exciting because the thing that I'm more grateful is the community that we have. And this, I don't mean only the NFT Goddesses, of course. The support within that group is amazing. But even in general, you go on Twitter and you see people supporting one another, tagging each other on other tweets, and recommending each other. And it's something that I think it brought a lot of positivity to different artists. Because, for example, I was on Instagram all the time, right? But I didn't have this connection with other artists, with other photographers, and in Twitter, it's like people that I had been following for ages, that I was fanning like a fangirl, are now like friends with me, and it brought us all together in a way. It's amazing. I think if you go with the idea of connecting to people, you'll see it as a positive thing, because I'm sure these relationships are going to be for life.
Yeah, and that's, really an interesting, point that you made is I do feel like the Instagram world, which is where visual artists were obviously demonstrating their work, that was kind of like the primary platform in social media to get the most exposure and to, build a large fan base. But it doesn't really feel like that platform was as collaborative, where people were like kind of united. It was more like competitive a little bit, I think would be fair to say. Whereas with NFTs, the NFT world very much so lives on places like Twitter and Discord. You see like real unity among NFT artists, real support for one another, collaboration. And I think that comes from the opportunity that NFTs give for monetization of an artist's work without the need for like a middleman, without the need for an art dealer or somebody that's taking a 10% fee. Artists are able to actually, directly sell their work. And it sounds like you've made one sale so far. I'm sure that there's going to be plenty more to come, right?
Yeah, that's like I know people come and think, oh, we're gonna sell loads, or maybe sometimes, and people get sad when they don't sell right away. I think it took me about a month or something to sell my first one, and of course, I would like to sell all of it, right away. But I'm not sad about it. When it happens, it will happen. I'm sure it will happen. I'm positive about it. It's just maybe some collector is already looking and waiting for the right time, or maybe the right collector hasn't appeared yet. You don't know. Things can change like in a second. You don't know what happened. So just keep positive and enjoy the ride, connect with people. I think that's the most important now. Find friends.
And I think a lot of other NFT artists kind of share that same sentiment. So you mentioned your program, mentioned NFT Goddesses. Kind of just give us an intro, like what NFT Goddesses is, what it means to you, and what the mission of group and the platform is.
Yeah, so it's I don't see it like a program, but mostly as a community. So it's a community for women or people identifying as women, and our aim is basically to create an environment that is safe, supportive, and empowering for people identifying as women in the NFT space. I believe that we can grow stronger together. And that's what the aim is. So, and I think it's very helpful. Every lady I talk to, they're really grateful because we support one another. I think we really built a sisterhood there. It's not about competing. It's about supporting. And I think that's really fantastic. I never expected it. When it started, I never thought this was going to be like this, and I'm really grateful. So we have
That's awesome.
Sorry, I just remembered. We have a few projects. We have a project soon, coming out soon, a collaborative project that we did. Some of the women submitted. So 44 artists. We have now 200 members. So 44 members submitted. And we have a collaborative project coming out soon. It's really nice the way it's looking, and it's about fruit. I hope no one minds I tell you now, but it's cool. It's fun and beautiful.
Awesome. So we've got some fruit-based art coming out from NFT Goddesses. I'm sure everyone's excited.
Yeah, it's really nice because, like, everyone's sorry if you're hearing noise. I can't control what's happening outside.
No problem.
So everyone's interpretation of fruit is so different, isn't it? And there's so many different ones that you can pick. So I think it's really cool.
I think it's incredibly cool too. Like when I think of famous photographers from the past, Robert Mapplethorpe, he just photographed flowers, which, a lot of photographers didn't think to do. It was like kind of so simple. But then, when you approach it from an original and creative angle, it's a totally different thing. So yeah. I can't wait to be inspired by the fruit-based art that's coming out from NFT Goddesses. I'm ready.
Can't wait to show you.
So what, if an artist, a female artist or an artist identifying as female is interested in getting involved with NFT Goddesses, how can they, go about doing that?
Okay, so at the moment, we have our Twitter, NFT Goddesses official Twitter, so at NFT Goddesses, and they can DM us there. And we go from there. We might close, I'm sorry if this is disappointing, applications soon, just because we want to make sure we connect with everyone and know everyone a bit better. But there will be opening after that. But if you want to join, contact us now.
Awesome. Okay. And is there, any sort of, obviously you have this project coming out that sounds really interesting and exciting. Is there a long-term vision for how NFT Goddesses, develops, or is it more about like kind of fostering that community and, just trying to support one another creatively in this NFT space?
Yeah. So I hope to build a website soon where I can promote the members' works, and hopefully exhibition or gallery soon. So we'll see. Of course, the vision is always growing. I can't believe since March or whatever it was, because we started with a Zoom meeting and it became this huge group. So it's really interesting. And I can't believe we have 200 members already. We hit it yesterday. So yeah, so visions and ideas are always changing. And the more we grow, the better it will become. But yeah, for now, we're focusing on these projects, hopefully building a website and Instagram soon, so we can support these women furthermore or more.
Awesome. More. Well, congratulations on the early, engagement. It sounds like 200 members in a short time. That's really, a good feat. Do you have any sort of perspective or any tips that you'd want to communicate to a female artist of any medium that's looking to maybe check out the NFT space, whether or not they're sure that they want to get involved? Like anything that you'd like to share now that you're, where you're at in the space?
So like tips, I talked about it. I guess just keep creating and just don't be afraid to ask. I guess if you have concerns or questions you don't know how to approach, don't be afraid to ask people, because from what I've seen, we are all a very supportive community and everyone is willing to help. Not saying maybe there's not some people that are not, but most people from what I've seen. So don't be afraid to ask and take risks and enjoy the ride, basically. Enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. Don't put
Wonderful
pressure.
advice. Yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Enjoy the journey. Awesome, Anna. Well, thanks so much for doing this. I want to make sure that, my pleasure. I want to make sure that we, people off with where they can find you. So, Twitter, Foundation, it sounds like NFT Goddesses on Twitter and soon a website. Any other places that we can find Anna or find NFT Goddesses?
Oh gosh. So I'm on, myself, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter maybe is the easiest for now. Just at Isabel _photo. And then my website is www.isabel.com. And the NFT Goddesses, just go to our Twitter at NFT Goddesses and you will find us. Any questions? You can also find my name on your post on NFT Culture.
That's right. That's right.
So go and check NFT Culture.
Awesome. Well, listen to Anna, check out NFT Culture. That's at NFT Culture on Twitter. And please like and subscribe to this video. I'm sure we'll be working with Anna in the future. So thank you so much, Anna. And, I wish you nothing but luck and break a leg with your NFTs.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching.